Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today I will be doing a review of my HobbyKing Arcus F3A. As you can see here, this is a rather large biplane. That's why I'm doing this review on the floor. Hopefully it'll be a decent video. I mean, I can't obviously fit it on my desk, but let's just go over the airplane basically. To start here, as you can see, I believe it has a 1,000 millimeter wingspan. So 1 meter wingspan, and I believe it's, I think it's 1,130 millimeters long or 1,300. I'm not sure, but it's a pretty big plane, pretty large. What it comes with, it comes as a kit. I think it comes as almost ready to fly. So you need your radio, receiver, and battery, which I have here, and it comes. Everything is bolt on. There is no glue required. However, some parts of the build, like let me show you the tail. It kind of has, these little spine things that go through it, and it just kind of stuck in there. And then it didn't feel secure to me, so I put a drop of super glue on each of them, and they bend in there, so that held them in. And as well, the steerable tail wheel here connects the rudder and holds that on. Everything else pretty much just clips together and screws on. All these servos are pre-attached, but you did have to connect the push rods, and for my elevator ones here, I did have to get those to the right length by adjusting them, by screwing them in and out. And as you can see, the main wing only has 2 screws to attach it. You have 1 and 2 here, so you might want to put some glue under here if you really want to. I mean, you don't have to. And it comes with the propeller as well. And so let's just run over what I'm using with it. This is the recommended battery size. Is a Turnigy Nanotech 2,200 milliamp hour, so 2.2 amp, 3-cell 45 to 90C battery. And this also, it has a 40 amp ESC, I think. It's either 30 or 40, and it says it will also take a 4-cell if you want to do that. But the battery compartment is very tight with even a 3-cell, so I'm not sure how you'd fit a 4-cell in there. Maybe if you got a really long one that wasn't much thicker. And I'm also running a battery buzzer on here just because I don't have telemetry set up, so I just run a buzzer, and I set it to buzz at about 3.5 volts. And then for my radio, what I'm using is my Turnigy 9XR Pro. So you can see I have it set up here, and for the back here, I have a FreeSky DJT module in the back here, because I'm running a FreeSky receiver. As you can see here, on my menus, everything's just, go in my menu here. Everything is standard. I'm running 40% Expo. However, my ailerons, the channel, I had to switch the aileron channel. As you can see, there's a negative in front of ailerons, because when I did my first pre-flight check, the ailerons were backwards. So if I gave a right aileron, it would do left aileron. So I just reversed that and changed it to negative 100, and then that worked up. And it might be different for yours depending on what gear you're using, but just make sure you do a pre-flight check. And that's the only thing I've done on my radio, really. So let's see, the battery. The flight times I've been getting are, probably maybe about 8 to 10 minutes. I've never actually timed it because flying a plane, especially a hobby grade plane, the flight times depend on so many different things, how hard you're pushing it, because you can go very fast with this, or you can also go pretty slow. And it's definitely not a racing plane, but it's pretty. It can get moving on a 3S. And now the build of it was pretty simple. Everything. I didn't use the manual at all. Everything went together pretty easily. Only a couple parts of the bags came in. Now, if you notice down here on my landing gear, you can see that glue there, hopefully, because I came in on a landing, and it actually, when I landed, it wasn't even a hard landing, but the ground was frozen earlier on, and it actually ripped the landing gear all the way out. So as you can see that crack along there. So basically what I did was load everything up with hot glue and stick it back in, and then actually holds it better than stock, because stock it was held in with CA glue. So now hot glue is even stronger. Let me talk about the propeller system. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Okay, right there. So the propeller is pretty cool how it comes on and off. Basically, you have this spinner here, and then you hold the propeller or something, and then you twist the cap left to get that off, and then you just twist that all the way off. And it's self-tightening, so you don't have to put it super tight when you put it on. Just, get it tight enough, and then these components come off. And then you have these, as you can see here, this one's threaded, and this just goes over and holds the propeller. You take your propeller off, and then you have your last piece that goes on there. And that's pretty much it. Really easy to swap out your propellers. And it comes with a 11-inch propeller with 7-inch pitch, so 11 by 7. And these are exactly the same as the GemFan propellers, because I actually bought a few spares from GemFan, exact same propellers. So I believe it's an electric. I'll leave a link down below. I bought some on eBay, but I'll see if I can find them anywhere else for you. And I have a little bit of tape down here for balancing, you can see there. And now for the motor cowl, it just it's held on by magnets, and it's on there pretty good. Not as well as I would like it, but you know, it's not coming off in flight. Then you have, I actually cracked a little bit, you can see that glue there, but you can't really notice it from the outside too much. If you look, you can see a crack there. But it's got 2 magnets that hold it on there. And then you can look at the motor here. Zoom in a little bit more. So the motor, as you can see, is a 3536 900 kV motor. Pretty cool red and black color. I like that. Let me see if I'm in shot. Yeah, I don't know if you can read that or not. You're on HD, but the motor comes pre-installed, and it is at a slight angle. Just to counteract. I forget if it's thrust or something, but the motor wires just run off underneath here and go to the ESC wires and just connect up right under here in this little spot, so that's nice and convenient. Let me zoom back out a little bit. And then here you have your battery compartment, and that there's a little piece of, and it's a little, if you see the white cracks there, it's because I had a little nose down crash and it bent the foam, smushed it just a little bit. So that's why. And the battery just pulls off here with a little piece of tape, as along with a magnet there. And this magnet, the hatch isn't held on that well. You'll see in my flight review, it actually falls off in flight. However, that's the first time I've ever had that happen, and I believe that's due to the smushing of the foam. It doesn't fit quite as nice as it did when it first came, so I think that's why. I'll show you inside here. As you can see, you have your ESC here. It's kind of just let's see, it is a 40 amp. Let's see if you can see that there, 40 amp ESC. It's kind of just stuffed in here. There's not much room at all in here, especially for your battery. And then for my receiver, I'm running a FreeSky D4 R2, as you can see here. No modifications or anything, and you just kind of have to stuff it under there, kind of stuff it down in there. I don't really like that. And the servo connectors, they all come out through the bottom of the wing and through the back. However, I don't think they were labeled when I got it, so you have to be, just make sure you plug in the right ones, and you can just check the channels to see if you have in the right spot. Just don't get the polarity wrong. And then for the antennas, I like to stick them out the sides here and put the canopy on, just so you know you get a little bit. I like to do that just so you get some, extra range, a little bit. I haven't really pushed the range on this, but you're using FreeSky full range hobby grade system. You should get, probably a mile out of it. You can't see it for a mile, obviously. And for the battery, when it first came, it just had, let me zoom in again. It just had this battery strap in here, and it's just a little Velcro thing that slots together, and that actually didn't work like at all. It has a wooden slot that goes into the foam that you're supposed to push it down and strap it onto, but I found the battery could move like a lot in there. So what I did was I took some HobbyKing blue Velcro. It's just some of the Velcro I had. Took that and stuck it on. I put the fuzzy on here and the scratchy side in the plane, and I put that on there. And now that allows me to get the battery in there, so it's not gonna, be ejected or anything or slide around in flight. So you can see I put the battery in, but it also is a little bit hard to aim because you have to hold it up while you're putting it down. And then I do the strap like that. Let me see if you can see there. Yep, so I do have a little bit of room. But the one thing about that is it's really hard to get out without Velcro because there's not much room. And like I said, up there, I don't know how you're going to fit a 4-cell in there. And that little nub or space up top is for when you put your hatch on, this little nub here. You stick that under there, and that kind of wedges in there, and then the magnet sticks to this end. and you kind of at loss for room to put your cables. So let me see. There's the battery in there. Okay, and then I'm just going to stuff my antennas in. And then I'd normally just plug my buzzer into my balance port and just stick it in there, so I'll do that. I'll have my prop off for now. And I'll show you. Let me zoom out here. Slow zoom on video. Okay, here we go, and I'll turn my radio on. Get it. You can hear there the ESC and motor all get ready to go. And now you can see I have full control. And now the throws on this I had set to 100%, and they are quite pitchy throws, very aggressive. And you can modify that on your transmitter and change that how you want, but it's very, you can be very acrobatic with this. Now it's not quite a 3D plane, but I show you my review. I try to hover a little bit, and you can definitely do some stuff with this. And since it's a biplane design, you have your dual, let me see if I can get that on shot. You have dual ailerons there, so you have tons and tons of roll throw, because if you get this going full throttle and then you roll, this thing does crazy fast rolls. I'll try and show that in my review, but you know, everything else is pretty good. It's nice and high quality. The motor, it's pretty quiet in the air. It's not a loud plane. Everything works well. It tracks super smooth. If you have it trimmed right, you let go and it'll just fly that way. I mean, everything I really like about this is about $150, then your radio, receiver, and battery. But everything, I think it's a really nice plane. A really nice plane, and I do recommend it highly. It's my second hobby grade plane, and I just love it. So there we go. That was my review. Now let's go check out some footage, some flight footage. I did a little bit of a taxiing just real quick, and then I take it up in the air and show you how it flies. So let's go check that out. Okay, here we are outdoors with my HobbyKing Arcus. As you can see, I just have it on the pavement here just to do a quick little taxi just before I do the flight, because I can't really fly it here because there's too many obstacles. I'd like to get out in the bigger field. But I just want to taxi here to show you quick. To show you the turning radius and everything. So here is full left turn. So you can see pretty nice turning radius. Definitely plenty wide enough for, say, a model runway if you have that, but nice turning radius there. So it's definitely very capable of taxiing with that rear tail wheel. Whoops. There we go. Doesn't seem like any damage has come. Let me let my prop hit the ground, but that rear tail wheel is steerable. You can see it's connected to the rudder, so pretty easy to steer. So now let's go take it out to the field. Okay, here we are at the field to take it up to fly. Just a quick little tip: when I hand launch it, since the grass is too bumpy here and it doesn't like that, and it'll nose down, hit the prop on the ground. To hand launch, I grab it right here and kind of use these airflow channels for my thumb and other finger, and just hold it like that, and I just kind of toss it up like that, and I use about 80% throttle because there's plenty of power to climb out. So let's do it here. You can see very easy, nice takeoffs. So let's just fly around here, and while I have a full battery, this is my 2200 full battery. Let's do a full speed pass. So that's full speed. Let's go full speed this way. That's full speed, and you can see that crazy barrel roll. So not the fastest plane, and this is on 3S, and it can take 4S, but you can see, and with fast throttle, this thing barrel rolls like crazy because those 4 ailerons. And it can climb straight up, and it can barrel roll straight up if you're interested in that. You see this thing just awesome. Awesome plane. And I have it in full 100% rates mode right now. My profile, my 9XR Pro. Let's do a little, I don't really know what it's called, but you kind of go up, and then you yaw a rudder to do that. I don't know what that's called, but it looks pretty cool. Kind of like a half pipe in skateboarding. Like that. Now let's do a full loop. I'll just give a little bit of elevator. I won't give full elevator. Do a nice wide loop. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. That kind of got off track. Now I'm climbing upwards. But it will loop very nicely. You see, I'm going to try and bring it closer to me, and I'm going to try to hover. I'm not very good at it, but this plane does have enough power for full vertical climbing. You can see there I'm hovering a little bit. It's a little bit, it can do it. I'm not very good at it, obviously. And you see I held my position for maybe 5 seconds, but I'm not very good at it. It's not the ideal plane for it, but it can do it if you're the good enough pilot. My propeller is a little bit off balance, that's why it's making that noise, but it's a very quiet plane for how big it is compared to my skipper. So let's bring it here and we'll do a full glide. This is full glide. So I'm giving no throttle at all. You can see it glides very, very nicely with that biplane design. And because of that nice long tail it has, it's very stable. At least that's what I've read. That nice long tail does for it. So let's do an Immelman turn here, which is a half loop, and then a barrel. You can see it does that very nicely. Let's do it downwards. You can see it'll do those all day. Upwards one. Inverted loops. You can see inverted loops are no problem. Oh, my canopy actually just fell off. I'm gonna have to go find that. The canopy for the nose cover actually just popped off. That's not good. I hope we didn't hit the prop, but let's bring it in for a landing. See, very nice, easy landing. And actually, my battery buzzer is just hanging in here. But I'll take that out just so it doesn't fall out. And then, because I'm not going to be flying off to need it right now. And I'll switch to my other Arcus profile on my 9XR, which I have, I believe, 40% rates down in, which will let me go really nice and smooth and just do some nice formation flying, sort of. I mean, I only have one plane, but that's what this plane was designed for. Is formation flying. That's what the F3A is in the name. As you can see here, very nice and smooth now. My controls, I'm not sure how much expo I'm running. I believe it's maybe like 35%. But let's try a knife edge. And that's sort of, I don't really have enough rudder now since I changed my rates way down. Go right overhead. You see, I love the paint scheme, or the color scheme on this too. It's kind of red, white, and blue. It looks really nice. HobbyKing did a nice job with this plane. And one of the great things about the build is it's all, you don't need any glue for it. And you can use glue, but it does come with all the screws and everything's just bolt on. So you can see you can do nice, slow, sort of formation, nice smooth turns flying with it. And then there's a blue stripe on the left wing to help with orientation. So I think that was good enough, so let's bring it in for another landing. I'll have to go find my canopy right after this video. That's disappointing. But here comes landing. And there we go. Not too bad a landing. Like I said, the grass is really rough here, so it's nice that it didn't tip over. But that was my review of the HobbyKing Arcus. Obviously, the hatch here could be a little bit tighter. I don't like that. Maybe if there was 2 magnets, but that's not too big of a problem. So there we go. That was my review. I really like this plane. Like I said, it's like $150. I got it for my birthday, and it comes, I believe, plug and play. So you need your receiver, battery, and radio. But that's it. Great plane overall. Could be nice and smooth or very acrobatic, as I said. And you can also fly it on 4 cells if you want to go crazy for power. But there you go. That was my review. Please subscribe if you weren't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.